Hi everyone. Today I'm going to wrap up my month of October, and I had so much fun with my reading this month. Lots of 4s, 2 5-stars, and 2 3-stars. And I got to participate in several different readathon challenges that are among the booktube community, and that made the month even more fun. So let's get started, and I'm really excited to share what I read. So I read this book right here, The Brides of Pandoric, and it is by Victoria Holt, who is a well-known name in the Gothic community. She would be what I would call retro Gothic. Most of her books were like in the 60s, 70s, and I only gave this book 3 stars. It was just like, it felt like a retelling of Rebecca, and so it was all right. I mean, I don't hate that I read it. So I gave 3 stars to that. The second book I read was The Munsters and the Great Camera Caper, and this is from a series authorized TV adventure by a publisher, Whitman, and they were popular in the 60s, and they had them for all those TV shows back in that time. And this is one of 2 that they made for the Munsters, and it was cute, and it felt like you were watching the TV show, and a Hollywood producer comes to their neighbor's house because they aren't there, they're on vacation, and they allowed them to like use the house to film. And 1313 Mockingbird Lane is a little unsightly for their show, and so lots of stuff happened, and it was cute, so I gave it 3 stars. Then the next book I read was, gotta look at my list here, Experiencing God's Love as Your Father, and this is by Mark DeJesus, and I gave that 4 stars. And it was good to just have that reminder, as God is your father. And it talks about, when you have father issues in your past, and how that can change the way you see God in that way. And so I thought it was really insightful and helpful. And it's just a short, like 60-page little book. I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Warmwood Abby, and that is by Christina Bayer. And I gave this one 4. It could be 5, but I just gave it 4. And I loved this book. And it's about a girl it's Gothic in atmosphere. And she's a young girl, 21, and she lives with her parents, and her dad is a minister. And his parents died, and he inherits a house in Yorkshire where he grew up, and so they have to go and take care of things, and she just likes the place, and that's Warmwood Abbey, and lots of stuff happens. It's just very Gothic in feeling, very, has a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of romance, not a lot in this one. And I just really liked it. The way the lady writes is great. It's a beautiful writing, I thought, and I really liked the story. And yeah, so I gave this one 4.5. Then I read Beyond Ivy Walls by Rachel Fordham, and this is another one where it's like, is it 4 or 5? I can't, so I gave it 4.5, but I used 4 stars on Goodreads. And this is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It also is Gothic in theme, but not so. It's not like this kind of Gothic. It has a Gothic influence, I guess. And but it's very good, a very sweet love story, cute little mystery, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah. Then I read The Mysteries of Udlo. This was the book that my husband and I read together, and I gave it 4 stars. This book is like one of the 2 that kind of created the whole Gothic genre of books, and it's by Anne Radcliffe, and I really liked it. I liked the writing, and I liked the characters somewhat. I liked her dad at the beginning. I really liked her dad. And Emily kind of had to grow on me. Valancourt had to kind of grow on me. But as the book goes on, more and more is revealed. And yeah, it's a closed door kind of Gothic, closed room door, whatever, locked room. And I really enjoyed it, and my husband only gave it 2 stars because of the he just was about sick of Emily, and the romance was a little too much, but it was still really good. And then after that I read another classic Gothic book called Uncle Silas by Stéphane de la Fenu. And I gave this one 4 stars. I really liked this one. I liked it better than Mysteries of Udlo. And it's also got a locked room type thing in the story. Family secrets, mansion. Yeah, and I just really liked it. It was a little bit more on like the creepy vibes, more than I would say Udlo. There wasn't any like big romance in there, so you don't have that like you did in Udlo. And yeah, so out of those 2, I liked Uncle Silas more. But anyways, so then the next book I read was Relaxed by Megan Marsham. This was a nonfiction book that I read this month, and the subtitle is Walking with the One Who Is Not Worried About a Thing, and I gave this 5 stars. So good. The whole book is based on Psalms 3:5-6, which is like always been like my life verse since high school, and I have to say that to me like myself all the time. So there was so much in this book that I really enjoyed because it gave me new ideas or new insight onto that verse, and I really liked this. I would recommend this for everybody. And then the next book I read was Tea with Elephants, and I pre-ordered it, and then I got it's like a sticker that you can put in your book where she signed it. And it's called Tea with Elephants by Robert Jones Gunn. She is a very well-known author in the Christian fiction genre. She wrote a whole bunch of young adult books called Christie, and then she wrote a whole bunch of like women's fiction about the gondolas and sister chicks. But I never read any of those, but I really wanted to read this one because I do like tea, and elephants are like my favorite animal. And basically it's 2 friends that they knew each other when they served after high school in a Christian camp in Costa Rica. They stayed friends even though they live far away from each other, and then they go on an African safari. And so it's like you're there on the safari, and it was so good. I really enjoyed. I just felt like I was there in Africa with them. And she's a really good writer, and just the story of their friendship was so moving to me. And each of them were dealing with something, and they promised not to talk about it while they were on their safari, but things kind of come out as they come out, and so they help each other. And yeah, I had a great ending, and great friendship story, great travel. 5 stars. Tea with Elephants, Robert Jones Ken. So that's all I read this month, and I'm very excited to get started in my November reads. I've already started on one. I couldn't wait. And so, yeah, hope everybody's doing great, and talk to you later.